Hello everyone and welcome to Uz Report World, and today we have the interview with Mr. Seung Duck Kim, energy specialist at ADB's Central and West Asia Department. Hello Mr. Seung Duck, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Very pleased to see you here. I'm very excited to be here to have this interview with you. I am Seung Duck, energy specialist working for the Asian Development Bank. Pleased to see you.
We're glad to see you today here. And Mr. Seung Duck, let's start with the title of your article. Soviet-era electricity network, you mentioned about this, and could power future energy sharing. Indeed, the whole system available to date is outdated. In your opinion, approximately what size of investment would be enough to make the Uzbek energy secure, resilient and competitive at the same time?
According to the Ministry of Energy's estimate, the more than 40 billion US dollars will be required to modernize the overall electricity infrastructure for the next 10 years. Of course, the investment needs will be quite different depending on the extent of the modernization and how the modernization will be done. ADB's estimate from the latest master plan study is not far away from the Ministry of Energy's estimate. So in short, it is our factual information that the substantial investment is really required in this sector. I'd like to emphasize that the further efforts should be made to maximize the benefits from the cost of the investment, and also there should be the careful and regular reassessment of these investment needs, reflecting the changing environment and also the technology development.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Could you please mention what is the role of regional cooperation in this process?
Okay, so regional cooperation will actually complement the government's long-term energy strategy. There will be a direct economic benefit from the regional energy sharing, first of all. Through this energy sharing, the government may also defer or avoid the significant investment to build large-scale power plants or the transmission systems. So for example, the Uzbekistan can buy electricity from neighboring countries instead of the building new power plants if the purchasing price is much more economical than making it home. So there are also other technical benefits, but I may not go into the very details of this technical discussion. So ADB is currently preparing a regional master plan. They will also guide the development of this regional energy sharing in this region.
Mm-hmm. There is one thing which is bothering me is how can Uzbekistan benefit by sharing energy? Is it really necessary, and would it be grateful if you could clarify this point, please?
Well, this is actually a very good question. So when we think of the trades between two parties should always bring mutual economic benefits. Otherwise, no one really wants to trade, right? So remembering this historical Silk Road, the people brought silk from the eastern part of the continent to western part. In exchange, other goods and ideas were brought back to the eastern part of the continent. Mm-hmm. Through this trade, both the civilizations were developed together, right? So likewise, there is, first of all, a very strong economic incentive for the energy sharing with the neighboring countries. Mm-hmm. Uzbekistan buys electricity at cheaper price from neighboring countries, and at the same time, Uzbekistan can sell it to other countries at a good price. In the long term, the energy sharing can be expanded to the South Asian countries, which is actually a bigger market in terms of the electricity market. So very recently, the Uzbek government signed a 10-year power purchase agreement with the Afghanistan government. Mm-hmm. ADB also supported a lot for this initiative. So besides this direct economic benefits, the regional cooperation in the energy sector will also help build a strong relationship and wider trade opportunities with the neighboring countries. And this, in turn, the investment will be further promoted.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And let's get to another question, which is about the alternative energy. Could you please share your thoughts and expertise on the government's reform agenda towards clean energy? Also, how is it going to support the local economy and whether it would help to expand and deepen regional cooperation?
Right. The government took a very bold action to increase the renewable energy, clean energy, such as solar, hydro, and wind in the energy system. The Ministry of Energy targets to increase the share of the renewables, renewable energies to 25% of the total electricity generation by year 2030. The transformation to a clean energy system is a critical movement to a green economy and thus is highly commendable. The development of the clean energy will help, first of all, meet the fast-growing the electricity demand in Uzbekistan in the coming 10 years, which will underpin the economic developments of the country. The second, the large-scale clean energy will help reduce the dependency on the natural gas for the power generation. The saved gas can be exported to international market or saved for future generations. The reduction of the greenhouse gas emission is also one of the commitments of the government to the international society. So there's a strong justification to meet this target, right? The development of renewable energy is actually quite booming in Uzbekistan. Very recently, ADB signed a 60 million US dollars loan to support the hydropower project development. And also, very recently, the ADB also approved the loan for the first Navoy solar power project. But actually, there are many more clean energy projects to come. So this, for the people, the investment in infrastructure will help to create a new high-level technology and also associated the supporting industry. And eventually, it will create a job for the people.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And what is the role of the private sector in this process and how the private sector can help the government in developing and reforming the area?
Right. The one of the key drivers of the government's ongoing sector reform is to really expand the opportunities for the private sectors. Like I said, there is a significant investment needs in the coming 10 years, but this investment needs cannot be met without really unlocking the private investment in the sector. So government actually is in the process of the reforming this energy sector more market friendly and investor friendly, so that more private investment is encouraged. In return, the private sector will not only will bring the investment funds to build this infrastructure, but they will also bring innovations and knowledges and competitions and better services to the people. So the investment, private sector participation in the energy sector will benefit the development of this sector.
Okay, very good. And last topic for today I would like to discuss with you is a smart metering project that the government developed together with ADB. You know that. Could you please mention its advantages and how reliable it is as the government intends to roll it throughout the country?
Right. Thanks so much for this question. The whole idea of this smart metering is to really ensure the consumers to pay for what they have used accurately. And also the smart metering projects are very fundamental to improve the financial sustainability of the overall the power sector. What makes the meters smart is actually their ability to provide detailed and accurate information on the electricity consumption in real time or at predetermined intervals. This information is fed into the balance of the consumers. It combined with the online banking system or online banking systems, the consumers now can pay their bills using their smartphones easily. And also the information provided to the consumers will also help decision making for the consumers, whether they will use electricity or they will save the electricity or something like that, right? This information is also very critical for the power companies, and also the government can also introduce more targeted the new tariff systems and also social protection system in the future. The Uzbekistan, I'm actually very proud to say that Uzbekistan is one of the leading countries who adopted the smart metering system among the Central Asian countries. And there are a lot of countries who learn lessons from the Uzbekistan. I trust the ADB project, where ADB provides 150 million US dollars to introduce smart meters and also the data center, will actually help convince the government of the impact of this smart metering system. And we are actually very glad that the government intends to roll out the smart metering throughout the countries. We support the government system, and we hope the government's program goes well.
Okay. Mr. Seung Duck Kim, thank you so much for your answers. It was very important for us and especially for the viewers of UzReport World. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us, and hope to see you very soon in Tashkent, as I know you're not in Tashkent right now.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And as I mentioned, ADB will continue to be the partner of the government in reforming the overall sector and also improving the sector performance of the energy sector. Like I mentioned, I'll be back to Tashkent very soon, and I hope see you back in Tashkent very soon. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Definitely. Thank you so much as well. It was our pleasure, and very warm welcomes here in Tashkent. We're waiting for you, and definitely generally all the tasks and all the support which is made by ADB is very important for us, for the country, especially for energy sector as we talk today. Dear UzReport viewers, that was Seung Duck Kim, energy specialist at ADB Central and West Asia Department with us today. Thank you and goodbye.